The beginning of the courtroom drama. In a quiet town in the United States, two brothers, Daniel and Michael, lived with their elderly father, Mr. Thomas. Daniel had spent years taking care of his father while Michael had moved to another state for work. After Mr. Thomas passed away, the family gathered to read his will. To everyone's surprise, Michael claimed that Daniel had secretly forced their father to sign over the family house before his death. Michael angrily said, "Daniel manipulated Dad when he was sick. That house belongs to both of us." Daniel immediately denied the accusation. "I never forced Dad to do anything. He made every decision on his own." The argument became so intense that Michael filed a lawsuit, accusing Daniel of fraud and elder abuse. The case was assigned to Judge Eva, a respected judge known for making fair decisions based only on evidence. The courtroom was packed with family members, neighbors, and reporters, eager to hear the truth. Judge Eva entered the courtroom and said, "This court will not decide based on emotions or family disagreements. Only facts and evidence will determine the truth." Lawyer Emma stood up and looked toward Daniel. "Your Honor, my client is ready to tell the court exactly what happened." Daniel took a deep breath, raised his right hand, promised to tell the truth, and began his testimony. Daniel stood before the witness stand and looked calmly at Judge Eva. "Your Honor, my father became ill almost 2 years ago. During that time, I left my full-time job so I could take care of him every day. I cooked his meals, took him to doctor's appointments, and stayed with him whenever he needed help." Lawyer Emma asked, "Did your brother Michael help care for your father?" Daniel replied, "Michael visited only a few times each year because he lived in another state. I never blamed him for that, but most of Father's daily care was my responsibility." Emma continued, "Did you ever pressure your father to transfer the house into your name?" Daniel answered confidently, "No, never. My father made that decision himself. He told me he wanted the house to go to the person who had cared for him during his final years." Emma then showed the court several documents. "Your Honor, these are medical records showing that Mr. Thomas was mentally healthy when he signed the property papers. We also have the lawyer who prepared the documents and 2 independent witnesses who were present during the signing." The courtroom became silent. Daniel continued, "My father even recorded a video before signing the documents. In the video, he clearly says that no one forced him, and that the decision was entirely his own." Several people in the courtroom looked surprised. Judge Eva carefully reviewed the documents and wrote notes. Lawyer Emma turned toward Michael. "If Daniel is telling the truth, then this lawsuit is based on an incorrect assumption. The evidence will reveal what really happened." Judge Eva nodded. "The court will now hear Michael's testimony and examine all of the evidence before making any decision." Judge Eva called Michael to the witness stand. Michael took the oath and confidently repeated his accusation. "Your Honor, I believe Daniel pressured our father into signing the house over to him. My father would never have done that willingly." Lawyer Emma stood and approached him with a folder of documents. "Mr. Michael, did you witness Daniel forcing your father to sign any documents?" Michael hesitated. "No, I wasn't there." Emma asked another question. "So your accusation is not based on anything you personally saw?" Michael looked down. "That's correct." The courtroom grew quiet. Emma then held up several documents. "Your Honor, these are phone records showing that Mr. Thomas called Michael more than 20 times during his illness. Most of those calls were never answered." The courtroom began whispering. Emma continued, "Isn't it true that you visited your father only 3 times during the last 2 years of his life?" Michael slowly replied, "Yes. I was busy with work." Emma nodded. "And isn't it also true that after learning the house had been left to Daniel, you immediately challenged the will without speaking to the lawyer who prepared it?" Michael remained silent for several seconds. Finally, he answered, "Yes." Emma then played a short video recorded by Mr. Thomas before signing the legal documents. In the video, Mr. Thomas said, "I am making this decision of my own free will. Daniel has cared for me every single day. No one has pressured me, and I hope my family respects my wishes." The courtroom fell completely silent. Judge Eva looked directly at Michael. "Mr. Michael, do you have any evidence that your brother forced your father to sign these documents?" Michael lowered his head. "No, Your Honor." Judge Eva made several notes. "The court has now heard important testimony and reviewed new evidence. I will carefully consider everything before delivering the final verdict." The courtroom became completely silent as Judge Eva reviewed every piece of evidence one final time. After several minutes, she looked up and addressed everyone. "This court has carefully considered the testimony, legal documents, video recording, and witness statements." She paused before continuing. "Michael accused Daniel of forcing his father to transfer ownership of the family home. However, accusations alone are not enough. A court must decide cases based on credible evidence." Judge Eva held up the signed legal documents. The property transfer was prepared by a licensed attorney, witnessed by 2 independent individuals, and signed while Mr. Thomas was mentally competent. Medical records confirmed that he fully understood the decisions he was making. The courtroom remained silent. Judge Eva then referred to the video recording. Mr. Thomas clearly stated that he was acting of his own free will, and that no one pressured or threatened him. This statement is consistent with the testimony of every independent witness. She turned toward Michael. "Although your disappointment is understandable, this court found no evidence that Daniel committed fraud, coercion, or elder abuse." Judge Eva picked up her gavel. "Therefore, this court rules in favor of Daniel. The lawsuit is dismissed, and ownership of the family home shall remain legally with Daniel." A wave of relief spread across the courtroom. Judge Eva looked at both brothers and spoke gently. "Money and property should never destroy a family. Your father hoped that both of you would remain united. I encourage you to respect his final wishes and work toward rebuilding your relationship." Lawyer Emma smiled at Daniel. "Today, justice was based on facts, not assumptions." Daniel thanked Judge Eva and the court for giving him a fair hearing. Michael slowly walked over to his brother. "I'm sorry, Daniel. I let my anger cloud my judgment." Daniel nodded. "I forgive you. Dad would have wanted us to be a family again." The 2 brothers shook hands as the courtroom applauded quietly. Morale, truth, honesty, and solid evidence will always prevail over suspicion and false accusations.